Do you set your lineups right after mowing the lawn and cracking open a cold one on Sunday morning? Have you simultaneously changed team names while changing diapers? Do you target players only with mustaches during your drafts? Welcome to Grown-Up Fantasy Football. And now your grown-up hosts, Joey Marino and James Reiner. What's up, Guffers? Grown-Up Fantasy Football, we're back, baby. It has been far, far too long since we've recorded a podcast, but we're back. It is Tuesday, June 1st, 2021.
Yes.
Hope you had a good, we hope you had a good Memorial Day. Enjoyed the nice long weekend, and James and I are here to do a little mock draft.
First of the season. I'm excited.
That's right. It is our first mock draft too, as a channel. So we're very excited about that. We're doing a little 12-team redraft mock, so get ready for that. But before we get into it, real quick, if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you enjoy this kind of stuff, it really helps out the channel. Leave a comment what you think of our team that we assemble together, and give the video a like if you enjoy it. That really boosts the channel through the algorithm. And hey, if you're listening to this podcast too on wherever you listen, really, go subscribe. Or I think Apple now has follow. Go subscribe to the channel, follow the channel. And if you're on Apple, be sure to give it a 5-star rating if you like the channel, and leave a review. I think we'd like to see some reviews. Maybe we'll read one on air. Yes. One day we'll get James to read one for you.
Constructive criticism. We love it.
That's right. We're all about that because we're grown-ups. And all right, you ready to get into some mocking?
I'm ready.
All right, Guffers, we are going to do our mock draft right here. 12-team, half-point PPR. We're picking from the first draft slot, so we're taking advantage of literally having every player we can to pick from right here. All on Sleeper, and hey, if you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening on the podcast, then you can switch over to YouTube. Check it out. We have a draft board from Sleeper on the screen, so you can follow along pretty easily. But are we ready to get this draft started?
We are ready. Begin.
Let's do it. All right. We are on the clock, and I think it's a pretty obvious decision right here. You want to go with McCaffrey?
I'm in agreement with you. McCaffrey is the best running back, even though he was hurt for some of last year. When he was on the field, he was still the best running back in fantasy football.
Yep. Doesn't even matter. We are going to lock him in at number 1. All right. You know, I don't think there's really any other choice we could have probably gone with the first pick. You know, would you make a case for a wide receiver?
No, I would make a case for Derrick Henry. He's
really
very consistent, and he never gets hurt. That's the only other choice I think you could make.
Interesting, Derrick. Well, I mean, you think you were right, because right after McCaffrey, there goes Henry, Dalvin Cook, Saquon, Devontae Adams at 5, Kamara, Tyreek Hill at 7, Nick Chubb, Ezekiel Elliott, Jonathan Taylor, DeAndre Hopkins, and Stephon Diggs round out the first round. Then Aaron Jones at 13, AJ Brown, Travis Kelce, Cam Akers, Austin Eckler, DK Metcalf, Antonio Gibson, George Kittle comes in at 5, Joe Mixon, Calvin Ridley, and Justin Jefferson. So we have some choices to make right here. Are we thinking 2 RBs, or you want to go wide receiver right here? What do you think, James?
It's tough because it's not a lot of sexy choices. It's a pretty big drop-off in talent in my opinion. I would go another running back. I would go with Hilaire. What's your opinion here?
Really? So I would probably go wide receiver right here. I think there's a bit of a tier break. I think, like you said, there's a gap between these running backs and the wide receivers left right here. So I'd like to go Michael Thomas.
Let's go Michael Thomas then. Let's
You
see.
want to?
Yeah, let's go running back, wide receiver. Let's see how that turns out.
He's got those PPR points.
Yeah.
And he's going to get peppered with targets.
So you're not concerned, no Drew Brees no more? You're still okay with Michael Thomas?
I still think he has a pretty safe floor being the wide receiver 1 there. With no Emmanuel Sanders, he's no real threat to, wide receiver to take any targets right there.
It's true.
I like Thomas.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Michael Thomas goes to us, and now we have another pick. So we can still take Allaire if we want to take another running back.
That's what I would do. Do you have someone else in mind?
Well, let's take a look at the other running backs. We got DeAndre Swift, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Then you go into Miles Sanders, Dobbins, Najee. Any other wide receivers? We have Keenan Allen available, Allen Robinson, Scary Terry, Mike Evans, Julio. There's already been 2 tight ends taken off the board too, with Kittle and Kelsey. Do we want to look at Darren Waller over here and just shore up the tight end position immediately?
My opinion is there's a couple good wide receivers and a couple good running backs left I think are worth taking here.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't reach for a tight end just yet, in my opinion.
It's true. We could probably snag one later on, but we do have a long wait.
It's true.
And, okay, so we're looking at another running back. We got Swift, Edwards-Helaire. I'd probably look at about those 2, maybe Miles Sanders. You like Edwards-Helaire here?
I do. I think the Chiefs just have such a stacked offense, and it's always going to be good, and Andy Reid always has a good running game. I think CEH is valuable here.
He does. I think out of those running backs, I like CEH the best. Do you want him over Allen or Keenan Allen or Allen Robinson, though?
I do, yeah, personally.
I think so, too. He's going to have some goal line opportunities, probably. And with Le'Veon Bell gone now, he could see some opportunity in the pass game.
Definitely.
Let's go CEH and secure our running backs right here.
Looks good.
And yeah, I think he's got a lot of opportunity this year. He disappointed a lot of folks last year, but I think he was a little overinflated. So now we've kind of seen a bit of a floor from CEH. So let's see what else we got now. After we picked Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the 3rd, then goes Keenan Allen, Miles Sanders, then Patrick Mahomes to the 4th team. DeAndre Swift, Allen Robinson, Mike Evans, Darren Waller, J.K. Dobbins, Chris Godwin, Najee Harris in the 3rd round, Chris Carson. Then you got Terry McLaurin, Amari Cooper, Julio Jones, David Montgomery, Robert Woods, CeeDee Lamb, Josh Allen, DJ Moore, Adam Thielen, Deontay Johnson, and Kenny Golladay. So here we are in the 4th round, and we got some decisions to make. Okay, Darren Waller is gone, so the top 3 tight ends are all out. We're going to be taking somewhat of a shot on somebody at that position. Wide receivers we have available: Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Ayuk, and then you get into OBJ, T. Higgins. It's a bit of a drop-off after there. Running backs, we still have Josh Jacobs available in the 4th with Myles Gaskin and Kareem Hunt. I don't know about you, but I really like Jacobs right here in the 4th.
I think that's great value. I mean, I'm not too concerned about Kenyon Drake taking away snaps from Jacobs. I think it's great value in the back of the 4th.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, and we've seen other pass-catching running backs be in the same offense with Josh Jacobs, and he's still produced. He was still an RB1 last year.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, we definitely snag Jacobs right here, and we have another pick to make at the turn. So do we want to take a look at another running back? We already have Christian McCaffrey, Michael Thomas, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Josh Jacobs. Do we want to look at wide receivers?
I think we're focusing on other positions now. I think we have our running backs locked up.
I'd agree. So what do you think of Cooper Kupp or possibly Tyler Lockett right here?
I like both these picks. Who's still available at the tight end position?
Let's take a look. We've got Mark Andrews, T.J. Hawkinson, Dallas Goedert, and then your bit of a big drop to Noah Fant, Logan Thomas, Kyle Pitts.
What are you thinking?
I'm
It's
kind
kinda
of
tough.
thinking, I kind of like Cooper Kupp here. You know, it's new quarterback, but Stafford is going to air it out. And I think he's going to open up the Rams offense. I think we both think he will. The general consensus is he will. And I like having a guy who there's not really a defined one. I mean, you could make a case for Robert Woods being the one on that offense, but Cooper Kupp is like right neck and neck with him consistently in the rankings. So
Definitely.
I like Cooper Kupp.
I'm fine with that pick, yeah.
You want to look Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Ayuk. What do you think?
I'd go Cooper Kupp.
All right, Cooper Kupp it is. In the 5th round, we got Cooper Kupp. And he's followed up by Myles Gaskin, then Kyler Murray, Kareem Hunt, Melvin Gordon, then 2 tight ends, TJ Hockenson and Mark Andrews get out of there. Chase Edmonds, Brandon Ayuk, Lamar, then Tyler Lockett, Travis Etienne in the 5th round, followed by Dak Prescott, Raheem Mostert, Odell Beckham Jr., Russell Wilson, Tyler Boyd, James Robinson, T. Higgins, David Johnson, Damian Harris, Dallas Goedert, DJ Chark, and here we are in the 6th round. Now, do we want to start looking at a quarterback right here? Do you think we can wait?
I think the quarterback to get is Aaron Rodgers if we want a quarterback this early. And
agree.
I think we'd have to take him this pick or next pick. We have 2 back-to-back picks, so I think we'd have to take him right here if we want him.
Yeah, I agree. But
who are some of the later round quarterbacks, though? If you want to click on quarterback real quick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's see who we got.
We could have Matthew Stafford. His ADP is at 107, which is wild to me.
I think that's the move. We wait to get Matthew Stafford at the end.
I'm totally in agreement there. Do we want to look at tight end real quick? Or do we want to skip that because we've missed a lot of the guys who have a bit of a defined role at tight end?
At tight end, who I would be targeting here is Kyle Pitts.
I think so too.
So I don't think we have to get him this round. We might be able to wait another round.
I think so too. Let's take a look at running backs or wide receivers. I think we could probably make a play on a wide receiver here. Do you think in Sutton?
I don't know.
It's tough. We do have a few seconds left, which I think I can pause this. Maybe not.
That's fine with me. Sutton's fine.
All right, we're going to grab Sutton in the 6th round, and now we have another pick. Do we want to take a look at these running backs? It's a bit of a tier break, but there's one guy in particular that I do kind of like, and that's Mike Davis with Atlanta. You know, Julio's gone. They probably won't change their offensive philosophy, but Mike Davis has proven that he can produce fantasy points.
He'd be our RB4. I think that's a solid value right there.
I think so too. And otherwise, wide receivers, we're looking at Chase Claypool and Juju, Will Fuller, Debo, and like Robbie Anderson. I think we could wait on some of these guys. I do like Debo out of there. But if we look at our team, we already have Michael Thomas and Cooper Kupp at wide receiver. Do we want to go with a guy who could be, he's probably going to be a slot guy on the outside, and there's a little bit of QB controversy? Or do we go with Aaron Rodgers right here?
I kind of like the Aaron Rodgers pick just because we know what we're getting. I don't think we know what we're going to get with these wide receivers and running backs that are still on the board.
That's a really good point. My only concern is the whole, situation in here. I mean, you're wearing a Packers shirt. You tell me, you think he's going to stick around?
Even if he doesn't, I think he will be an excellent fantasy football quarterback. So whatever team he's on, he's going to get you points.
And we have to assume that he's playing. So we're going to take Aaron Rodgers here in the 7th round, which I think is really good value, especially for the reigning league MVP.
I think he finished as the number 2 last year in fantasy. Is that correct?
He was top 3 at least, yeah. So, yeah, getting great value over there. And right after Rodgers, we get rid of Justin Herbert, Ronald Jones, Mike Davis, Jalen Hurts in the 7th round, Zach Moss, Kenyon Drake, Tom Brady, Chase Claypool, Leonard Fournette, Will Fuller, Debo, and Noah Fant comes off the board. Juju, Javonte Williams, A.J. Dillon, Robbie Anderson, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, James Conner, Logan Thomas, Curtis Samuel, and Jerry Jeudy. And here we sit with our 2 picks. And what do we want to do here? Do we want to look at more running backs, or do we want to take a look at these wide receivers that we have? Or do we want to take a look at one of these tight ends?
I think we grab Kyle Pitts here. I think that's the right pick.
So I really like Pitts, but I also really like Tunyon, especially stacking him with Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Tunyon had 10 touchdowns last year? Or more?
I think Tunyon's probably the safer pick, but I think Pitts definitely has a higher upside.
Oh, it's juicy. Oh, man. I mean, I could see a lot of good things for Kyle Pitts this year.
Especially if there's no Julio. Him and Ridley, they're the top options.
I mean, that's a ton of targets that are being vacated. Now, a lot will go to Ridley, but I mean, Kyle Pitts is just sitting there. I think we can grab Pitts right here.
Sounds good.
Let's take Pitts. And what else are we doing? Do we want to look at another pass catcher? At wide receiver, we do have Brandon Cooks. Robert Tunyon actually is listed as a wide receiver, oddly enough.
If he's listed as a wide receiver and you can use him there in your fantasy football format, gets a lot of touchdowns. You might want to consider that here.
So we also have to choose from. Jarvis Landry is another option there. At running backs, we're looking at Devin Singletary, Tony Pollard, Nyheim Hines, and then back into like Latavius Murray. So, Singletary is probably the only possible starting running back out of these picks. I think it's between Singletary or Tunyon right here.
I would prefer Tunyon, probably. That'd be my pick.
I think I would too. In a PPR format, I have hope for Devin Singletary, but I don't know if it's gonna come to fruition. I think I'd go with Tunyon too. And this gives us support for Kyle Pitts. If Pitts doesn't work out for some reason, we got Tunyon. Exactly. And maybe later on in the season, Pitts will end up as a wide receiver. He'll be listed as a wide receiver as well. So to get through the 9th round, Brandon Cooks, Devin Singletary both come off the board. Jarvis Landry, Corey Davis, Tony Pollard, Latavius Murray, Tyler Higbee, Nyheim Hines, Mike Gesicki, Matt Stafford, Irv Smith, Hollywood Brown, Jamal Williams, Laviska Shenault, Ryan Tannehill, Devontae Parker, Trey Sermon, Tariq Cohen, Gus Edwards, Michael Gallup, Darrell Henderson, and Matt Ryan. So at the 10th round, this is very intriguing because if you're watching on YouTube, I have wide receivers selected to look at, and the first name on there just jumps off the board at me, Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith is who I want to take here. He's going to be the number 1 receiving target for Philly. I think he has such a high ceiling, he could end up being a very good fantasy player this year. So, yeah, Devontae Smith's my pick.
Do we want to take a look at running backs?
Let's take a peek.
Phillip Lindsay, Michael Carter, Rashad Penny, Alexander Madison.
Tevin Coleman's the only starter I see on this list right here.
Yep. Tevin, James White, J.D. McKissick. McKissick isn't bad, but I think I'd rather wait maybe a couple other rounds to get to him. And if we lose him, that's that's still okay. I think we're going to be all right. I think we're onto something with Devontae Smith right here. We have back-to-back picks anyways, so let's go Devontae Smith at 10, and excuse me, and at the 11th round, we're looking at Mike Williams, Antonio Brown, Jalen Waddle, Marvin Jones are some names, and we still have Phillip Lindsay, Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, J.D. McKissick. Do we want to take a shot with any of these running backs, or should we keep looking at pass catchers?
It's tough. Right now, Tevin Coleman is listed on the starter. It's listed as starter on the Jets depth chart. So I think that is the safest running back to pick here.
You don't think Michael Carter will take over?
Maybe he does, but we already have. I don't know. Tevin Coleman's listed as a starter.
Team, yeah, let's take an inventory of our team. We got McCaffrey, Michael Thomas, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Josh Jacobs, Cooper Kupp, Cortland Sutton, Aaron Rodgers, Kyle Pitts, Bobby Tunyon, and Devontae Smith. I think running back is, to keep it even, at least, it would be the even pick. I feel like Tevin Coleman might come back to us, though, for some reason. But I could either go Coleman or McKissick. And do we want to take a Jets running back?
I feel like you're kind of right. Like, he will come back to us. And I like some of these wide receiver names better.
You thinking AB?
Yeah. I'm thinking AB.
Or Mike Williams? Which one?
I like AB.
Yeah, let's go Antonio Brown. He could always return to form at some point.
Oh, yeah.
And that would be amazing. Recently signed with the Bucks, too. So, following our two picks, Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, both back-to-back picks. Phillip Lindsay, Gronk, Austin Hooper, Rashad Penny, Michael Carter, Mike Williams, Marvin Jones, Evan Ingram, and Jalen Waddle round out the 11th round. Then you got Jamison Crowder, J.D. McKissick, Darnell Mooney, Blake Jarwin, Alexander Madison, T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman, James White, Cole Beasley, Nelson Aguilar, and Marlon Mack. So, Tevin Coleman came back to us.
Let's take him. I also do kind of like Michelle, but I think Coleman is the pick here.
Oh, I'm not sold on Sony Michelle, even in the 12th.
Yeah, don't blame me.
I can't trust it. Yeah, let's go Coleman with our first pick, and with our second. So at running backs, we have Sony Michel, Gio Bernard, Carlos Hyde, Kenny Gainwell, and DeAndre Washington, all available. At wide receiver, we've got Devontae Smith's teammate, Jalen Reagor, Henry Ruggs, Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton, John Brown. I kind of like Ruggs here.
I like Ruggs. I'm wondering, should we look at a defense?
Really? In the 12th?
Getting close to the end here.
That's true. We do only have 2 more rounds, so I say we grab a defense later.
Sounds
with
good.
Our other pick. So, or no, excuse me. We have 1 more pick at the very, very end. That's right. We're at the turn. We took Coleman. So, question is, do we want to actually, plan for a defense, or do we want to grab a wide receiver? Do we like, out of these wide receivers, who do we like? Reagor, Ruggs, Shepard. I think Ruggs too. At running back, we have Michel, Bernard, Hyde, Gainwell. I think Ruggs is probably the yeah, that's pretty gross. Let's go Henry Ruggs. Or you want to go Henry Ruggs or a defense here?
Let's go Ruggs.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'll get whatever defense comes left. And then, you get a string of kickers, and, whatever defense falls to us, we'll take. So to take a recap of our team real quick, you are looking at Christian McCaffrey at running backs. We have Christian McCaffrey, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Josh Jacobs, and Tevin Coleman. And at wide receiver, we've got Michael Thomas, Cooper Kupp, Cortland Sutton, Devontae Smith, Antonio Brown, and Henry Ruggs. And at tight end, we grabbed 2 with Kyle Pitts and Robert Tunyon. and ended up with Aaron Rodgers in the 7th round. What do you think of the team? Give me a quick analysis.
Quick analysis. I think we have very good starting running backs. I think our wide receivers are a little risky, but I think we drafted a lot of guys late who could turn out to be very valuable fantasy players this year. Kind of sleepers. I like our tight ends. I think we got a solid team here.
I think so too. I think the tight end insurance, I think, will come in handy. Especially, we have a lot of potential with Kyle Pitts, and there's a safe floor plus a stack between Rodgers and Tunyon. I really like getting Devontae Smith in the 10th round. He's going to be the wide receiver 1. The guy is electric. I think he's going to break off of coverage. People aren't going to be able to cover him. He's too good of a route runner.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I'm a little worried with CEH, but we have Christian McCaffrey, so it's not going to matter really. And you got Josh Jacobs, who I think was a really good pick in the 4th too. Sutton, it's all about the quarterback, and it's Drew Lock, but he probably, there's a lot of hype around Jerry Jeudy, and for a good reason. He's very, very talented. But Sutton is somewhat established in this offense. Plus, Deshaun Hamilton, I think, tore his ACL or had a pretty significant injury. Mm-hmm. So I really like Sutton in the 6th. And plus Ruggs down at the very end. I mean, that's fantastic. But, hey, that is going to do it, actually, for our episode. Feel free to check us out on YouTube, Grown Up Fantasy Football, or if you're listening on the podcast at the Grown Up Fantasy Football Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you are. And if you're listening on Apple, be sure to give us a review, 5-star review, hopefully 5 stars. And, write us a review. I think James will probably read them on the show if we start getting them.
Definitely. For sure.
Definitely. All right. So that's going to do it. Be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to grow up, and be sure to get guffed.